Nero's been out in the field getting acquainted with his new friends for the last couple of nights, and it's a soggy Sunday now, and tomorrow he'll be heading up to the vets. So we've brought him in for the night because he will be a little bit tired just from being out with everybody. There's lots of space for him to move around and run around, so he'll be a little bit tired. But what I want to do with him, while even though it's raining and it's getting a little bit dark, is I just want to spend a bit more time with him around the ramp going up onto the lorry. I did a little bit on Friday because I want him to just be very comfortable and relaxed with the way that we travel. So I'll just show you a little bit of that now. I've just got Nero in the lorry. We've just spent a few minutes doing some groundwork in the arena. He put his front feet on a couple of times and then stopped, so I sent him back a couple of times, and now I think it's about 10 minutes. He's just walked on here, no problem at all, all nice and relaxed. And now I'm just going to let him walk straight back off again, because obviously I've got to take him up to the vets on Monday. So I just wanted his first experience of walking onto our lorry to be a nice one. And I think that's been nice and relaxed. Oh, he's going to walk off with me now, so that's cheeky. So I might have to just do a bit of backing up again before we go out. But that's, you know, what he wants to do. He wants to march off, but he needs to just understand that they have to be... That's where he sets his neck there to the right. It's a bit hard when I'm videoing to do it effectively, but that's what he does, and that's his go-to move. So I'm going to stop videoing so I can actually manage him properly. But I'm going to take him into the arena. What I've done is I've reversed the lorry onto there because our ramp is quite steep, and with a horse that's quite weak behind, it can be very difficult for them to push with their hind legs to go up the ramp. So it just gives it a little bit of a platform so that he's not having to push up too high. And we'll just spend a little bit of time just taking him on and off so that he's comfortable with it, because I want him to be happy that it's nothing stressful once he heads up there tomorrow. I'm going to put the pressure halter on the little man and we'll go up to the arena. And the same as on Friday, I'll do a little bit of groundwork and then just ask him to walk onto the ramp, because I want him to know that just because I'm asking him to go up to the ramp and onto the lorry doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to go anywhere, and it's just an everyday occurrence. Oh, little man. So I believe sometimes he has been a little bit tricky to load, although he travelled up here absolutely fine. It did take them about 10 minutes to load him, and there was talk of him not being particularly happy to travel alone. So, you know, they can all be different on different days. One day there might be something that they don't like, and another day they might be relaxed with it. So I just want to, as I say, put him on and off there and just make it a nice relaxed experience. So immediately there I put the pressure on his neck, a little bit of pressure on this part of his neck. Go back, sweetheart. Just to gain that relaxation. So although at the moment he's only relaxing through his neck and not through his whole body, even though we've only done this 2 or 3 times, he's already getting the message that if I pop my fingers there, it means that I want him to just let go and relax. Good boy. Good. He's a very quick learner. And already he was going back a few steps, which on the first day I did this, so he's licking and chewing, he wouldn't go back at all. I'm just going to flick the rope at him and ask him to go back a step. So I'm not touching him with it, I'm just asking him to go back. So he took just 2 steps back, but then he's gone forward and done the usual thing of pulling me round to the right. So I just bring him round on a circle. And just get him back to the point where he stops. So that's a fairly usual Frisian thing to do, is to set his neck to the right and pull me round. So I'll bring him back to a stand. Good. And just get that relaxation back. Oh, he's a good boy. So he's turning his head to the right because he wants to pull me off that way again. So I just put the rope in my left hand so that I can just flick it round here, not to hit him, just to let him know that he can't turn round and pull me that way. Good. And I just give him a few moments to relax. Good boy. Good. And I'll just ask him to walk with me. Good boy. Oh. When I stop, he should stop. Good boy. So he's looking for his escape, so he's looking round to the right, but he's not seeing it through now. Good boy. Good. Go back. Good boy, go back. Good boy. Good. Go back. Good. Good. Good lad. I'm just going to walk to the wagon and just walk up on there, and he goes as far as he goes. So it's just an everyday occurrence. So this time, as compared to when I did it on Friday I had all the partitions open, so there was a lot more space up here for him to come on and turn around. But when I travel him tomorrow, I'll be looking for him just to go in this middle section. So I wanted to give him a little less space this time to walk on and see what he thinks. Think, darling. Do you want to go off? So I'm now going to send him actually back off the ramp. So just waving the rope at him to signal to him to go back. Because it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter that he doesn't go straight up there. I know that with some encouragement he would, but I want him to do it in a way that he thinks it's his decision. That's all good. He's put all 4 feet up on the ramp. He's nearly in. I'm not going to pull him around or make him come in. He just needs to find his own feet and find his own balance. Do you want to go off? Yeah? You have to come up and then I can turn you around. Which way do you want to go? You want to come up this way? Go on then, sweetheart. Let him go on there, always keeping it nice and relaxed, and then let him find his way down. But he's licking and chewing there. He's a good boy. Yes, he's a good boy. So as I say, I know that, he loaded to come come up here, but because I've heard that, you know, he's not always been great, it's important for me to know before I travel him that he's going to be okay with it. Should we go on again? Come on then. Find your feet. But if he's happy to this time, I might let him just stand in here and close the partition to make sure that he's relaxed when I do that. You're going to come up, sweetheart? You're going to come up? Good boy. Good boy. Yeah? You just stand there for a minute. Yeah, no, we're not going to go off this time. We're not going to go off this time. So again, nice loose rope. I'm just going to unhook this. Bring the partition across. And just pop him in there. So give him a fair amount of space, not so that he bangs his head or anything. So there, he just popped his head under the partition a little bit, so I'm just going to put it in a little bit closer. He's a good boy. And just give him a moment. So he's getting a little bit anxious there. He's a good boy. Because I don't want him to think that every time he goes on a lorry as well, that he's moving to a new destination. And that it's a stressful thing. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah? See, it's not bad. So although he's stamping his feet a little bit, you know, and that's a bit of anxiety because he's not quite sure what's going on, I'll just stand with him quietly. He's a good boy until he relaxes. He's a good boy. There. He's a good boy. So I'm just watching his face and looking for signs that he's letting go of any tension. And I've got a little bit of licking and chewing going on there, but there's still some tension. So I'm going to give him a moment. When he licks and chews again, I'm going to just open this up. That's a good boy. And I'm not going to let him rush off. Watch your head on there, darling. He's a good boy. So, you know, he's being respectful here, although I know that he's desperate to come off. I'm going to ask him just to stand here. Frey, can I ask you just to move that partition across and pin it back? So there, he's wanting to rush off, but I'm just putting my hand up here to let him know that he can't. So although he wants to rush off there, I'm just asking him to stay for a moment and just putting my hand up to signal to him that I don't want him to rush off that way. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to let him come down. So he'll come down quite quick because he's keen to come off. And the other thing I need to bear in mind with him is he's 5 years old and his attention span isn't great. But he is licking and chewing now, but I can see in his whole body that he's a little bit anxious about it. You know, he's not quite sure what it's about. Are you confused as to why you're going on and off? But I might just walk him on one more time. Him to know that again he can't just turn his head into me and head straight off. So I'm just putting my hand up here can go off, but because there's a bit of tension there now, I'm just going to spend a moment with him here until he relaxes. And just give him a moment to think about it before we go on again. Good boy. But in an ideal world, I'd do several days of this before taking him on a journey up to the vets. But we don't have that time, do we, little man? Because we need to get your hock sorted and you more comfortable. Oh. Oh. Good boy. And that in itself is a good sign. The licking, chewing, yawning. Good boy. Okay, should we go on one more time? Come on then. You don't want to come on this time. That's fine. Are we boring you? Eh? Are we boring you? Should we go off? Good lad. Good lad. Very exciting. Very exciting. Oh, it's wet and it's not that cold though. Come on, one more time. Boy. Okay, let me come the other side. And I'm happy with that for today. He's a good boy. So that's all it needs to be today. I'll probably do a little bit more in the morning before we head off in the afternoon.